My fondest memory would probably be winning the SWAC tournament in 2021 and going to the NCAA tournament.
Okay, what's something you don't miss about being a student athlete?
6 a.m. workouts. Those were brutal. About 6:30 in the morning, had to be stretched and ready to go no matter what the night before looked like.
Yeah. Listen, we understand how important hard work is, but aside from hard work, how would you advise a student athlete that wants to get better at the sport?
I would definitely say there's no such thing as being good enough. I think always putting in extra reps, extra time, whatever that looks like for you. Being a student of the game, I think that's something that a lot of students have kind of slacked in that area a little bit, truly knowing the game and just truly having that passion for it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but some student athletes struggle with mental health, figuring out who they are beyond the sport they play. How would you advise a student athlete really searching for their identity beyond the sport they play?
Yeah, I think mental health is something that's huge right now, and I'm glad that it comes around now and kids are a little more aware of it. My advice would definitely be aware of your circle and your family and being who's around you. I think it's equally important to have people who are your friends, but they also are keeping it honest and giving you a good, nice reality check, giving you some humble pie every now and then, but also understanding that mental health is real. So take it serious, find some resources around you, and lean into that family circle of yours.
Yeah, so being a student athlete, a lot of times the focus is just the athletic side of it, but there's a whole other side of how they can maximize their time while being a student athlete. That has nothing to do with their sport. How would you advise them to figure what that is out for them so they can maximize that?
Yeah, I think something outside of a sport that I think I just recently got into actually is finding a hobby, finding something outside of a sport that you like. It could be reading books, it could be going thrift shopping, whatever it looks like, just something that actually brings you joy outside of the sport, I think is because as you get older and you start to understand and get into the real world, as they call it, I think essentially you just have to find other things that bring you joy besides the sport.
That time when you hung up your jersey for the very last time, how were you able to navigate through that? Was that a traumatic experience for you? And how would you advise student athletes that are ending their eligibility?
So I would think, no, it was not a traumatic experience. Like I said, I finished at the highest level possible. I was in the NCAA tournament. So I think for me, how I coped with it, I could say, is that I got into collegiate coaching. I think giving back my knowledge is something that's equally important to having other coaches that are a little more like-minded, understanding how it goes, and having kids that truly understand college sports, kind of dipping their toes into it as well. So I think another way that people can start to kind of transition into the real world and transition would definitely be leaning into the community. I know there's lots of ways that you can get involved as far as athletics and high school teams, whatever that looks like, just giving back to the community. I think it's one of the easiest ways to navigate that.